Hi everyone, welcome back. Javi, a good day, and I hope you're going to have one today. So, guys, today's discussion is going to be a little bit different. I'm taking a little side tour of what I've been discussing so far, and I've been talking about skincare and my journey and where I've gone from where I was to where I am, and hopefully where I'm going to end up as far as my skincare improving. Um, it is a journey. It is a commitment. Um, I can't do as I've done years ago, which is apply something and hope that overnight a miracle is going to happen and my skin either clears up or its texture is better or its color is more even or whatever it is. Because it didn't take a moment to get to where it was, and it's not going to take a moment to get to where I want it to be. This journey that I'm on has been on testing products left and right, and at one point, it clicked in my head. Um, you know what? I've had this YouTube channel. Many of you don't know. I've had it for over 12 years. I never did anything with it. My thought was years ago I was going to do travel. A lot of you who know me know that I like to travel. And I was going to do a few videos, and it never came to fruition on my trips to either Hawaii or Mexico or the Caribbean. And things have changed. So I finally decided I was going to jump in and do something. COVID's happened. And so for the last 3+ years, I haven't gone really anywhere. I did go to Colombia last year, and I'll talk about that in one of my videos. And hopefully, I'll see if I can get a friend of mine who is in Colombia to join us and talk about his decision to become an expat and move to Colombia. So, with that being said, let me get started with today's topic. And today's topic for me, oh, by the way, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell. Please hit the bell. Let's grow this channel. Again, the idea of this channel was going to be bringing to light things of interest for people 55 and above or 50 and above. It's our new chapter in our lives. We're going to be moving from whether or not you had children to probably being a grandparent. If you decided not to go that route and not have kids and perhaps not get married, then perhaps this is just a new phase in your life. And it ain't over. It ain't over, folks. It's just a new part of our lives, and we're going to keep on growing and keep on enriching our lives, and that's the goal. Anyway, today's discussion came kind of oddly in that over the last 2 weeks, I had not one, not two, but three people out of left field ask me about hair growth. My channel so far has been on skin, and hair growth came up from three people in 2 weeks. And that kind of led me to say, hey, maybe I need to talk about hair growth. Ding, ring the bell. And Debbie and Joe, thanks. You were the first people to say that. And then I had two other friends who came over and basically addressed me on that. And when the third person came up within 2 weeks, I was like, I think I need to do something about that. Anyway, I'm going to briefly talk about my journey with hair growth, anti-balding. I hate when they say, these are products for balding. Well, no, they're not for balding. They're for not balding and not losing hair, but for regaining your hair, hopefully. Because I'm a kid of, let's say, the 80s, where hair was kind of big, and though I didn't think I had the perfect hair, my hair identified me. It was part of me, and maybe for a few of you, it's the same. We're also the product of the 70s, where there were the hair rock bands that were out there. That was kind of big. So, I'm going to say my first step into hair care for maintaining and not going bald was probably in my 20s, when I remember my friend Sharon's mom said to me something to the effect of, "Your hairline's receding." I was in my 20s when this happened. I was in my mid to late 20s. I had just moved. I currently live in Florida. I had just moved to Florida. And I just thought, no, impossible. Um, Probably shortly thereafter, I ended up purchasing Rogaine. In my 20s, I was not down for it. It was not part of me. I was not going to be, I guess, the slave to the product and a slave to being committed to this. So basically, I bought it, used it a few times, was not for me, tossed it, didn't do anything with it. Most of you know that I happen to be in my 60s, and so far I've kept a good portion of my hair so far. I just did this buzz cut to myself. Um, and I'm gonna say I need to change that ideology and get it professionally done. And I'll probably have it done in a couple of weeks. But anyway, um, I, in the last couple of years, during COVID, stopped cutting my hair. Eventually, in some of the videos, I'll post what I looked like before COVID, during COVID, and after COVID, and how my skin was, what my hair looked like, what I was feeling. I was not in a good place. Okay, let me just say it. I wasn't in a good place, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. I wasn't. This is me coming out of a dark area of my life and recapturing who I am as a person, and the energies that I have within. So anyway, digressing, I'm going to say, so fast forward several years later, I started to see less and less hair. Shout out to the Dr. Lees. They were talking about that. When you finally really realize that your hair is receding, you've probably lost close to 30 to 50% of your hair by that point. So here's what I'm going to mention. I believe, and I'm going to restart a hair care save regimen, and I'm going to try to see if I can implement some of this. I don't really want to lose any more of what I have, so I'm going to try to see if I can maintain. If a few follicles come back to life, all the better, and see where I stand. I'm going to say 3 to 6 months from now and report back. You'll probably be seeing it live. It's either you're going to see more or you're going to see less, and I'll just say, for me, it worked. For me, it did not work. And for every other person out there, it's going to be different. Just like I say for skincare, there are some products that might work for you. There are some products that may not work for you. And you have to find the one that really works for you. And it's a search. Anyway, there are certain products out there for anti-balding. Hims company has come out with a Hims and a Hers version, and I'm going to say it's probably the same formulation. It's just how it's packaged. And it's minoxidil, which has been proven to help with regaining hair that has been lost, but the follicles are still alive. It's just that as things get less and less, your hair that was thicker will be thinner and thinner and thinner until finally that follicle will no longer produce any hair because it's so fine that it's basically on the outs. That follicle may still be alive though, and could possibly regenerate hair. And basically minoxidil is going to be there to hopefully not turn back the hand of time, but basically re-energize, reinvigorate that follicle from producing hair again. And it may be thin, but you'll start seeing some hairs produce, and then they'll come back. One thing that I've heard and learned is that when you start a regimen of minoxidil, do not be scared if by chance within a few weeks to a couple of months you'll see hair growth. It'll then fall out and come back in stronger. So keep the faith on that if you happen to see that and you are religious about the application of the product. So there is Hims, there is Nutrafol, which actually has an oral version to take for men and for women. There is Happy Head, there is Laser Hair Growth, and that's a capsule form. Oh, I'm sorry. Laser Hair Growth. Laser Hair Growth is not a pill or a lotion. Laser Hair Growth is basically a ball cap that you'll get that'll have red LED lights in it that will have ultraviolet or what is it? Infrared lighting that's supposed to help with the regeneration of the cells on your head. For those of you with skincare, there are also infrared lights for the skin to help regenerate the cells on the face, also to help collagen. Surprisingly enough, collagen also is part of what your hair needs. If you remember, collagen is for hair, nails, and skin. And so that is the theory behind it. Ro, R-O, another company that puts out an oral product for hair growth. Cara Tease has oils, serums, shampoos, and conditioners. I think that's an awesome idea where you're not only treating the issue with one product, but you're giving it a multi-pronged attack in that you're providing an oil for the hair, a serum for the scalp, and when you are shampooing, conditioning, though both of those products are probably not going to be on the hair or scalp very long, they are also complementing the two other items that you're going to be using. So that's Cara Tease. Then there's Rogaine. Rogaine is a brand name for something that it contains minoxidil. And Kirkland also has, and of the products that I've mentioned, the only one that I think I visibly have available today is going to be this one, and that's Kirkland, and that's minoxidil. I'm going to give you a little story about that. The skincare journey for the last year and a half or so, about 2 years ago, when I realized that my hair was even thinning more and more, I went out and I got Kirkland's minoxidil in foam suspension. So basically it's like a foam that you would put on your hair and your scalp. Caveat there, just to say, putting something on your hair for hair growth is not the key. You don't put anything on your hair. Put it on your scalp. It's where it's coming from that you need to address. If you're putting anything on your hair, it's to thicken the appearance of the hair. And you need to attack it at the source, which is at your scalp. Where I was going with the minoxidil is, again, I think I've mentioned before that many of us have different sensitivities to different products and different chemicals and different elements that are out there. Minoxidil in foam suspension, for me, no bueno. What occurred was I ended up burning my scalp. Now, for those of you who know me, hard-headed, I thought maybe at the beginning of this, like at the end of the second week, I was trying to be religious with it, that I was putting it on every day. And more and more I would put it on, and more my scalp burned. I'm surprised they didn't go totally bald and that everything fell out, because basically my scalp was burned. I then went to do a little bit more research, and the research brought me the following information. There is a chemical within the suspension for the mousse, which is an easy application because you put it on, you just shake it into your scalp, and it's easily in there. the liquid form is a little bit harder because the liquid will run more. So the mousse idea was key for me. Well, it didn't work for me. So I went back and I was informed in a video that I saw that the liquid suspension of the minoxidil doesn't contain that element. And to date, I have not broken out. I haven't burned my scalp with this product, so I'm going to keep on using this. Things to consider, and I am definitely going to be an advocate for this. I believe in a multi-pronged attack. Putting something on your head, I'm sure, is a good start, but I think you need to consider taking something orally, because the hair follicles are going to grow from within. So if you can find something that would be a good oral product for hair growth, and I think I mentioned before, Nutrafol is a good product to go with. Something a little bit more economical is going to be Nature's Choice has a product out there that's a gummy, and most of these are going to have either collagen in them or they're going to have biotin in them, or both. What I always recommend is do yourself a favor. I throw a shout out to Cassandra Bankson, who I've been watching forever. See an item, just don't look at, who it's made by, what's on the front label. Turn the bottle around, see what elements are in there, and see if it is for you. There is a company out there called Viascal, and Viascal has a product out there called Viascal Pro, and it is for hair growth as well. It's a little bit costlier. I would definitely start off with something a little bit more economical, see if it works for you. If it does, great. You might want to explore into something else if you're wanting to continue using these elements. One thing you have to remember, when you start, you cannot stop. Basically, this is going to help you grow hair back, and because of genetics, your body is always going to move forward, and you're trying to retard that momentum forward, and hopefully bring it back a little bit so you can have the hair back. One thing to also consider, if you apply this to your head, men and women both suffer from balding. One thing I learned is that men will have pattern baldness where you lose hair from the front. I'm going to say my hairline used to be about here. So you see what it's receded from, and then I still have some hair in the back. So at one point, I think I had a more visible crown than I do today. When you apply these items with your hands, for men and women, especially for women, be careful. Wash your hands after with soap and water. The residual chemicals will be on your hands. You don't want to end up touching your face with them, because though it might be very minor amount of the product on your hands, it's still on your hands, and you don't necessarily want to have sideburns or something on your chin that you didn't expect to have. So just be very careful when you use those products. Also, Bosley. Bosley has some great products out there. I know that they have a shampoo, conditioner, and they do have a serum to put on your head with finasteride and 1% and minoxidil. I'm going to wrap up basically with saying that there are also some other home remedies that you can add that are good for hair. I think they're more of a visual thing, and it's about maybe masking and having the hair look a little bit thicker than it really is. And it's going to be things like jojoba oil, peppermint or spearmint oil, and castor oil. These 3 oils will just make the hair shiny, and it'll make it look a little bit thicker. These are some of the things that I'm going to recommend for people at the moment. We'll visit this again. I want to give a shout out right now to Mateo and Lisandra for getting married. They are YouTubers that I have been watching for some time, and they recently got married, and I just got to see their video about an hour ago. So congratulations, and I understand you're moving to Mexico City, so congratulations to you too. That is my 2 cents for today for Hobby A Good Day. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Shout out to my friend Elena who got me this shirt, and I'm loving it already. So till next time, this is Hobby. Have a good day. Take care.